Greetings all. Welcome to On West Gray, the official podcast of the City of Norman. I'm your host, Bryce Holland, multimedia specialist here at the City of Norman. On this month's episode, we don't just have one interview, or really even two. I think all told, we have 7 different interviews in this episode, which is far and away the most we have ever had. The reason we have so many interviews is because this month we are talking about something that is kind of special to me because it's part of my department, the Comms Department, and it's something that involves a lot of people. We're talking this month about the City of Norman's Citizens Academy, which is a somewhat unique program the city offers, led by our amazing Comms Director, Tiffany Vrska. This program gives Norman residents the opportunity to learn about all the different facets of how the city operates in a sort of up-close and hands-on way, but I won't say too much about it because I'm going to let Tiffany talk much more eloquently about it. So, as I said in one of the last episodes that we would be experimenting with the form of this podcast a little bit, and I am nothing if not a man of my word, I decided to try something a little different this time, and I actually went on location to record some interviews for this episode. I hope you all enjoy this experimentation, and please send us an email to publicaffairs@normanok.gov and let us know what you think, or leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube or wherever you listen to this podcast. So, without further ado, let's talk to Tiffany Vrska about the City of Norman Citizens Academy. All right. Well, Tiffany, it's been a couple of months now since you kind of, moved on to other things from hosting the podcast, but now we've got you back on as a guest. We're very, very happy to have you back.
Yay! And you're doing a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So I wanted to kind of talk, we wanted to talk about the Citizens Academy today. This is very much your baby. I mean, this was a thing that you brought here from the city of Lawton, where you worked before.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the kind of the history of the Citizens Academy.
Yes, you were very much right. It is my baby. So I worked in Lawton for about 4.5 years before I came to Norman, and I just completed 4 years in Norman. So time flies when you're having fun.
It really does.
But when I was down there, I also did communications, and the city manager, one of the city managers that I worked for, had heard about a program in another municipality called the Citizens Academy and brought it to our attention. And when he introduced it to me, I was like, oh my gosh, we could do so much with this. Absolutely. People need to know how their local government works, where their taxpayer dollars are going. So we implemented it there. And I did that for about 2 or 3 years. There was a brief pause during COVID with all of that craziness. But then when I came to Norman in fall of 2021, Mayor Bria Clark was in office at that time. And she had talked to some of the officials down in Lawton, and they were like, hey, have you guys started that up yet? You have Tiffany on your team now. And that was kind of her thing. And so Mayor Clark was like, let's get this going. And so we did. We flew applications in the spring, the first spring that I was here. And then we started it back up. And so it kicks off in July and it wraps up about the end of October. It's a 12 to 14 week program, depending on what we have on the schedule. Classes are weekly, about 2 to 3 hours a piece, give or take. And these citizens get to meet with different department heads, visit different divisions, offices, sites, and they learn the ins and outs, kind of what goes on behind the scenes with making the city function. And so it has been just a wonderful experience. This is our 4th year completing it here in Norman, and we've loved every year. And I'm super proud to say that there's a couple actually sitting council members that completed the program. So Councilmember Dixon, Ward 8, Councilmember Gandisberry, Ward 1, and there's several others too that actually they went through the program, learned about local government, were inspired to try to be more involved, and they either went on to sit on committees or just chose to run for office. So I think we're doing what we set out to do as far as just hopefully sharing knowledge with people about how local government works, but empowering them to realize that this is their government, right? So whether it's gaining confidence to walk into City Hall or the Development Center, learn more about services or programs, run for office, or, just come to a city council meeting and tell folks how you feel about a certain subject. We kind of open that door so that they know what is available to them.
You can tell what a true communications professional you are, because you breezed through like the best answers for other questions that I was going to ask, which is just great. Because what I was going to say was, we have 2 sitting council members that came from the Citizens Academy. They did it first, and then they both were elected. What other kinds of changes have you sort of seen in sort of like community engagement since we started up the Citizens Academy?
Sure. So I was really excited when I introduced this to the management team here at Norman, because everyone is so passionate about what they do and they want people to know about it. And so it was all hands on deck. They were very creative in what they wanted to do, versus a traditional classroom setting that you could potentially have all of these sessions in. They want to bring people out to their sites and their offices and their projects. And so I've seen it evolve in that maybe, the first couple of years, it was more of a classroom setting. And now it's, they get to go on a bus tour and they get to see construction projects around Norman. Folks are bringing in not only cake and cookies, but they're bringing in full meals because they want everyone to have the complete experience. In
Shout
addition
out to the fire department bringing in Chick-fil-A as always.
Fire department and Parks and Recreation. I mean, they make it a whole experience, even though these classes are short. And so it's just evolved, I think, in being more fun, creative. We cap it at 25, right? Because you don't want too big of a group, because there's other elements to think of. There's the boring logistics in, having a class. So how many people can fit on a bus? How many people is a good size to, where no one's getting lost on the water treatment plant tour, that sort of thing. And so we make it as fun as we can, I think, with the amount of folks that we have in there, and every year it's evolving. This year we did something different. We implemented the Division of Environmental Resilience and Sustainability, our doers.
Always love Michelle.
Yes. And so they had a hands-on project where they got to paint, decorate, and take home bee hotels.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. And so that was something new that we did this year. That is a newer division, as you know. It's just come online in the last couple of years. They do amazing work. But that's important for people to know about. And it's just another fun, creative way to show folks what that division does, but also they get that hands-on experience, because so much of what they do is education and outreach, right? So we did that. We also, for the first time, we asked folks to actually attend the city council meeting. So again, the logistics of trying to make this open, free, accessible program where it's not too hard for folks to come to or keep up with. And so forever it was every single Monday. Well, council meetings are on Tuesday. So can we get that in there? Is it going to work for the class? So we went ahead and implemented that. They got kind of a pre-meal with council before the meeting. And they got to sit down with them, with their representatives, and talk about what they learned in the class, because it was toward the end of the program, and ask different questions of them. And then they just walked right over to City Hall and were able to take part in the actual meeting and see how city business is conducted at a city council meeting. A lot of these folks are very involved, obviously, wanting to be a part of a program like this, but many of them have never been to a city council meeting. And so it's really important, I think, that they see what all of this culminates to, right? Because city council, the buck kind of stops with them. So staff works at the direction and the pace that they set. And then they get to say yay or nay up on the dais during those business meetings.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because that is one of the things I've noticed. I've now been here at the city for 8 years now, and I've been to nearly every single city council meeting for 8 years. And you see kind of a core group of people that attend most meetings. But ever since we started the Citizens Academy, there's kind of a new group of people that will start coming to the meetings more regularly, becoming involved in zoning issues and things like that. I mean, we often have meetings where we will have sort of controversial or contentious issues, and that brings a lot of people out. But it's nice seeing more people coming out and paying attention to those more sort of less flashy things that we have on the agenda.
Absolutely. And it makes me so happy. I mean, I'll go to these meetings here and there or pop out of my office at 6 p.m. and someone's like, hey, do you remember me, from the class? And I'm like, absolutely, I do. How are you? And now, they've made the decision to be involved or pay attention to what's on the agenda because there's no other form of government like local government in the way that it impacts your life. So it's the roads that you drive on, the parks that you take your kids to, the water that comes through your faucet. I mean, all of these things are incredibly impactful to how you live your life every day. So I think it's important that we all work together in, growing the Norman that we want to see and work and live and play in.
I could not have said it better myself. I mean, it really is true. This is the one level of government that people really have the most say in and can really have their voice heard. And I think that what you've created here with the Citizens Academy has just sort of amplified that and really shown people like how they can be involved in this. And I think you've created a really, really special program here. I can't wait to see, it grow and continue. I mean, it seems like every year we open up the applications and they get full up pretty quick.
Oh my gosh, within a week or two.
Yeah, very, very fast. Well, Tiffany, thank you for all that you've done with this. This is a great program. And thank you for joining us here today on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, and as Tiffany mentioned before, we did just recently have a new class that was sort of instituted this year for the Citizens Academy, where the students actually attended a council meeting. And we actually went live on location and got some interviews with some of our students that were in the academy this year and some of our sitting council members that had been a part of the academy. So we're going to kind of jump over and take a look at that right now.
Yes, my name is David Michael Jordan Gansberry. I'm the current city councilman for Ward 1. I also was in the first ever inauguration class of the Citizens Academy that we're celebrating tonight.
Oh, that's perfect. So tell me a little bit about, like, you actually went through Citizens Academy and now you're actually a council member. I mean, so tell me a little bit, what made you want to do Citizens Academy, and did that spur you on to want to do more with the city?
I've always had a lot of thought about what goes on in the city and trying to make change within the city. So I joined the first Citizen Academy in the hope of getting to know the city better. By going through the program, I was able to get to meet a lot of city workers. I got to see a lot of the city functions. And what I felt, I saw some where maybe improvements could occur, but also what is doing great. And then when the council seat came open, it was a perfect transition to continue that relationship built during the academy with those that are still working here for the city now as a councilman.
So do you think that, the Citizens Academy is relatively new, all things considered? I've been here with Tiffany, while she's been kind of doing it all along. But, like I say, you're maybe one of the first council members that went through it. Do you think that everything that you were able to learn through the Citizens Academy, do you think that's helped you make a better transition into being a council member?
When we was going through the Citizen Academy, the one great thing is that you go to a different aspect of the city every time that you meet. You get to know the people that run that department, you get to know some of the employees in that department. And just vice versa, when I became city councilman, one of the first things I had to do was go study each of those departments again and meet those same people. And when you meet somebody for a second time, it's a lot easier to have a conversation. They already kind of know that you have interest and showed interest even before the councilman position. And it's made the transition a whole lot easier and a lot more respect given on both sides of being able to truly help each of the other departments through my process of being the councilman.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for talking to us today and, everything that you do. And I'm glad that, this program has been able to help you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right, and now I have Scott Dixon here with me. He is our Ward 8 council member. He was also on the Citizens Academy pretty early on, and now is transitioned onto council as well. Scott, tell me a little bit about, what made you want to do the Citizens Academy to begin with?
Really, I just wanted to learn more about Norman, how it works, just kind of see a little peek behind the curtain, if you will. And I'll say I was floored with the absolute quality of professionals that we have running the day-to-day everything here in the city of Norman. And really just kind of made me just want to stay involved, get further involved, that kind of fun stuff.
Do you think doing the Citizens Academy maybe gave you a little bit of a leg up?
Right. No, I think it definitely helps. It felt it helped me as a candidate and as a council person. It also really, I don't know, it's been a little tumultuous in the last few years around here, and so I really wanted to make, during my candidacy or whatever, to just really kind of talk about all the good things that Norman's doing, because it's easy just to focus on this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, but man, going through the Citizens Academy, you get to see, man, there's so much that's just right, and you know it's right because you never see it, you never hear about it.
So, last question, if you could give any advice to anyone that wants to get involved in public service here with the city, whether it be running for council, being on a board, planning commission, something like that, what advice might you offer them?
Man, reach out to your ward council rep and see what positions are available on different boards and commissions. Obviously, apply for the Citizens Academy. You might find when you're in the Citizens Academy, you find there's a little niche, little part of the city government that you had no idea existed, and it really intrigues you, and you want to help out there. I mean, we need help everywhere, but there's got to be somewhere. But I would say reach out to your council member and definitely apply for the Citizens Academy.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, and who am I talking to right now?
I'm Ben Fenwick. I live in Ward 5.
Perfect. And so you are taking part in the Citizens Academy this year. Tell me, what has been your favorite part of this so far?
You know, it's tough. It's a tough choice, but I like the water plant, but I also really like the new emergency center because there's so much good stuff in it. It's like going into the Enterprise or something.
So what made you want to be a part of the Citizens Academy? Were you involved with city government before? Were you just wanting to know more? What brought you here?
I've been a journalist in this area for a long, long time, and I was a very young reporter on the streets of Norman when I first got out of college, and so I've gotten to see Norman grow and become much more Norman, and I love Norman, and so it's been a wonderful thing just to see it, kind of to see what it's become and how more advanced it is.
So anyone that wants to get more involved with city government, having gone through this, what advice might you give them now, having lived here as long as you have, been a journalist, and gone through the Citizens Academy?
I would say come to Citizens Academy. It's just a great ground floor no matter what you do, because you are going to see something that you connect with, whether it's, Butterfly Parks or the new Young Arena, the Trey Young Arena out there, whether it's the water plant like I am. You can be as nerdy about the thing you like as much as you want.
Ben, thanks so much for talking to us today. All right, so who am I talking to now?
I'm Helen DeBolt, and I live in Ward 2. And I've lived in Ward 2 for a really long time.
Oh, well, how long?
Well, since we just established a ward system in Norman.
Okay, so
1974, I think, yeah.
Okay, so you're a dyed-in-the-wool Normanite.
Yes, I am a dyed-in-the-wool Normanite. Yes, I am. I'm also League of Women Voters, and I thought that I knew a lot about the city of Norman from my work with the League of Women Voters, but it turns out that there are whole areas of the city that I knew absolutely nothing about, and this has been a fantastic experience.
That's excellent. So what has been your favorite part of the Citizens Academy so far?
Oh, well, visiting with the individual department heads and learning about the departments. The first thing was the city clerk's office and the city attorney's office and learning about the community court that we have, as well as juvenile court and the regular municipal court. I was stunned. I had no idea this even existed. And now, since I've been talking to people about what I've been doing on my Monday evenings for the last 3 months, I have friends in other cities who want to know about the Citizens Academy. So I've copied off the agenda and sent it out to lots of different people. because they want to get involved in their cities too.
That's awesome. Spreading the good word of the Citizens Academy. I love that. So, of all the departments, what's been your favorite one to experience?
Oh, well, it has to be Public Works because they're so big and they do so much, and you see them every single day out there on the streets of Norman working.
Helen, thank you so much for talking to us.
Awesome.
All right, and now I'm here with Kathy Hammonds, who's kind of unique in Citizens Academy. I don't think you're the first employee we've had be a part of it, but we haven't had too many. So, I mean, you work here already for the City of Norman, but now you're going through the Citizens Academy. Tell me, what made you want to go through this?
Well, because every municipality is different, and I've been in municipal government for 30 years, and I wanted to see how Norman's works. And so I was able to learn about the different departments this way.
So you're in the city clerk's department, which is kind of the nerve center of the city, as it were. You know, you guys kind of touch every part of the city. Has there been anything that you've learned in the Citizens Academy that you didn't know just through your day-to-day job?
About how many employees we have. I mean, I come from a small municipality and with 74 employees, and you come work here and you have almost 1,000. And everybody does their job. Everybody seems to get along okay. So I think it's amazing.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much for talking to us today. All right, and now I'm here with, the man who is sort of the head of our city council, as it were, our longest-serving city council member, here with Mayor Stephen Holman. Mayor Holman, tell me a little bit, like, what is your thoughts kind of on Citizens Academy? You've been on city council since we initiated it.
Yeah, well, it's a wonderful program we have in Norman that gives residents across the city the opportunity to get a real hands-on first look at how the city government operates, getting to visit all the city departments, getting to see how the city council operates. I think is a real great opportunity for all of our residents to get more involved and to educate themselves about local government and what goes on here. The Citizens Academy and then our various boards and commissions are a great way to get your foot in the door. That's how I first started serving the city, was on a citizen committee, and that's how most of my colleagues on council over the years got their start as well, was being on some board or commission.
Mayor, thanks for talking to us today.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, that was kind of fun. I liked getting to talk to people kind of, in the thick of things, and be on location and hear people's sort of unfiltered, unvarnished opinions on this, unique experience that we have. I want to thank all of the guests, Tiffany, council members Dixon and Gansbury, and Mayor Holman for coming on the show to talk about their experiences and what makes the Citizens Academy such a unique and valuable experience for Norman residents. Questions or commentary about On West Gray can be sent into publicaffairs@normanok.gov. On West Gray is produced and edited by Bryce Holland, that's me, and Maria Nairn of the City of Norman's Communications Department. Be sure to visit normanok.gov/Norman-news to enroll in e-notifications from the City of Norman. Until next time, stay engaged, stay informed, be good to one another, and enjoy everything our amazing city has to offer. We'll be back again in a month here on West Gray.